Welcome to another video, guys. Today we're gonna talk about everything you need to know to get some massive points in your Clan v Clans, especially when we have personal rewards up. The new Clan v Clan is coming in less than 24 hours, and if you prepare yourself, you will be able to hit some massive points, as long as you know how to do it. And yeah, here is what I have managed to do with pretty much ease. Already have my 500,000 points for CVC. It was actually quite easy to do, as long as you actually have the right mentality for it. If you enjoyed the video and like what I'm doing, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and that is gonna increase your odds of actually getting your hands on a mythical relic. Results may vary. Yesterday I got massively lucky with this one, not even kidding. I still can't believe I managed to get my hands on this thing, and the way I got it, it was through a freaking literally 4 rare essences with 0.01 chance. I'm not even kidding. It was insane. It was my last batch of 100 rare essence, and we managed to snag ourselves our first very own mythical relic. Insane. But yeah, results may vary, guys. But it doesn't hurt to try the like and the subscribe method, I can tell you that much. And also don't forget you can download the game through my download link to get your hands on 2 of the best epics in the game, as well as get your hands on some Wukong with the Monkey King promo code in your first 24 hours. Now, let's get into the video. So, like we said, CVC in less than 24 hours, and the way you do well on these is you gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan, and you gotta know what you're doing before the CVC even comes. Historically speaking, CVCs always come on a Tuesday, and every second CVC usually is a personal reward CVC. The reason why personal reward CVCs are so important is because you get personal rewards. I mean, it's in the name, guys, duh. And yeah, the personal rewards are hella good. Right now I'm at tier 6 of the personal rewards, so these are gonna be absolutely massive. Tier 1 is hot garbage, if we gotta be completely honest, compared to what you're gonna see on my rewards. But yeah, anything in between, they definitely stack up nice and good. And here we can see if we win this CVC, I will be snagging myself 24,000 energy, 4 void shards, a sacred shard, a bunch of epic books, some chickens, some all around very good stuff, all for free as long as we manage to win that thing. The clan rewards also ain't too bad, like they are basically close to the same each CVC, no matter if it's a PR or not, but again, they are gonna vary depending on the tier you guys have, and obviously it's gonna be a lot easier to snag yourself the tier 1 rewards, and they're also gonna be a lot less enticing, like just the ancient shard, thanks I guess. Here we get a couple of voidies and a legitome, so it is definitely no joke. Enough about that, you probably already know why CVC is so important, but what you might not know is how to get yourself massive points with ease. First things first, you gotta go to the objectives and actually see what are gonna be the good objectives this time. Actually, you can't do that from objectives just yet. That's gonna happen as soon as CVC actually goes live. For now, we can go onto the Versus tab, and here we can notice that Potions Keep is gonna be giving you twice the amount of points that they normally do, so you should already know this might be a good time for you to actually use a little bit of extra energy, a little bit of spent gems to farm up those potion keeps, so you can actually be double dipping some nice points like that. The other thing we're gonna notice is Faction Wars is gonna be absolutely massive, as well as Shogun objectives. So again, potion keeps and Shogun might be a good time for you to actually farm up a little bit of accessory essence, a little bit of potion action if you're low on those, and most importantly, it's gonna be integral to your success to not forget to save up your faction keys for tomorrow, guys. I know it's very easy for some, myself included, to log into the game 5 hours before CVC starts and start banging out your usual raid routine. Do some arenas, do some live arena, get your tag arenas in, get 36 keys for Faction Wars, and boom, I'm already out of faction keys for today. And this is before the CVC mark when I'm recording this, like you're gonna notice. It's just 3 minutes into the CVC if we were tomorrow right now. But yeah, the faction keys are actually gonna be giving you massive points, especially on this one. Especially on this one, because you're going to be getting the double amount of points you usually get. And I gotta say, Faction Wars, they give a very good Bonus if you manage to actually beat stage 21, which anybody in the game after half a year or at least after 1 year should be able to do on pretty much any faction if they were serious about the game. And beating the level 21 stage gives you 1,000 points a pop. That means if you farmed up your extra keys, you are going to be able to get 4,000 points out of a single faction, so that's 8,000 points if you only have 2 factions unlocked for that day. And in this particular case, that's gonna be times 2, so 16,000 points straight off the gate just by saving up your faction keys for tomorrow's CVC. Multiply that by 2, and that is literally 32,000 points for free. You don't even need to spend energy or anything, you just gotta do your normal faction keys, and you just gotta be smart about actually doing them after the CVC starts. So yeah, so far not exactly rocket science. Honestly, none of this is going to be rocket science. It's literally just reading and knowing how to actually do things. But still, a lot of people, including a lot of my guildmates actually, have a hard time cracking open 100,000 points in a single CVC, especially when it's on a PR. Honestly, anybody who has a speck of respect for their clan should be able to do 100,000 points. And with this video, I think you're just not gonna have an excuse not to do it because it's so damn easy. Moving down to the Shogun, we can see that if you actually manage to beat stage 25 of the Shogun, that's gonna be 400 points a pop for you, and that is gonna be again doubled for this particular CVC, so that's gonna be 800 points. Phantom Shogun historically has not been a great place to farm because there's literally never tournaments for it. But we do have news from Raid that now Shogun is probably going to be comboed off with Sand Devil together, so soon we will have some tournaments with Shogun combined as well. But until then, historically speaking, this has been the best time to be farming Shogun. This has been the only time where Shogun actually gets you some double dip action, which if you guys have checked out my tips for Raid video, know how important it can be to always try to be double, triple, quadruple dipping if you can. It is actually possible with a little bit of planning. And in this case, I would definitely advise some people to spend a little bit of gems if they had managed to farm a little. And again, check out my gem farming guide if you want to know how to farm really tons of gems, above 3,000 gems per month with ease, so you can always be stacked for such events. And yeah, the Shogun is really not even that hard. It's not exactly a super complicated piece of content. I myself even managed to farm it quite nicely. Yes, it is gonna take you some nice and ascended champions. I'm not saying this is something you should be eyeballing if it's your first few months in the game. You obviously are gonna need some ascension action going if you want to be actually having a good time against this boss. But once you get a little bit deeper into the game, once you have your first year behind your back, you should have yourself plenty of 5-star ascended champions just by completing Titan events, just by playing the game, doing deck of fates, all of that nonsense. Like, I haven't exactly been lucky opening these ascensions. This one was from an event, I got lucky with this one. This was an event, but this was a hard event. I think I had to snipe a champion training event. This was event, again. You get it. It's all events, guys. Literally, all my top champions are basically events. Honestly, I only have a handful of 5-star champions I didn't get through events, and that would be Artek, and I guess Arbiter could be said it's not from events. And I think I actually spent 100 big ones for the Raphalos 5-star, but everything else is through events, so it really comes down to you being consistent in the game. Enough about that. This is not a Shogun guide after all. Let's quit dilly-dallying with that one. Let's move down to the more important things in CVC, which would be starting off with champion objectives. Champion objectives are super easy points for you. Not because you want to be opening champion objectives, even though you actually could. Right now we don't have such a good example, but historically speaking we have seen plenty of fusions ending during a CVC, plenty of rewards, login rewards ending on a CVC, and that was a way for you to actually stall out collecting the champion till the CVC starts, and that was giving you some easy points on its own, like especially getting a champion for the first time, a new legendary champion that's 20,000, fusing your Lady Mikage for the first time, that's gonna be a cold 40,000 with ease, that kind of stuff. But here I'm talking about more of a bit more trivial ways to get points out of champions, and that would be through upgrading champions. This would be a good place to be leveling up champions, especially if we have a champion training tournament. I haven't actually checked if we're gonna have some champion training tournaments and stuff like that. No, doesn't seem like it. At least not for now. I don't see anything in here. We're just gonna have a soul event, a drop fever accessory event, some of this, some of that. Nothing really that powerful just yet, but maybe they're gonna load these up after this video goes live, so don't take my word for it. We might end up having some nice tournaments to double dip with. But even if you don't, using this time to actually level up some champions would be a good idea if you are in desperate need for points. I would not do this if you don't really need the points, but if you're itching to level up your fresh new, freshly opened newt or something crazy like that, this would be a good time for you to actually level it up if you can't wait for the next champion training tournament. And another great thing to be doing during these things is actually ascending champions. Ascending a mythical champion to level 6, 5,000 big ones. Ascending a legendary champion, 2500. And not to mention upgrade champion skills. Legendary champion skill 3000, mythical 4000, epic 1000, rare even 500 a pop. This ain't no joke. And what you should be doing in order to actually get the most out of these CVCs is you don't want to be using up your books unless it's either a CVC or unless you need to get yourself some champion training points. And I'm talking about tournaments only, because on events you're not getting jack. So I, for one, right now have... Look at this. I have literally 40,000 points worth of mythical tomes. I have 42,000 worth of points on Legos, 55,000 on epics, and what's that, 2,300 on rare? Literally free real estate. And the really cool thing about these legendary tomes right now, about all of these skill tomes right now, is I could use these to snipe the win for my clan at the end, as I have done in the past. Like, if I decide, I can literally dish out 100,000 points in the blink of an eye. If it comes down to our clan being just 50,000 points away from the win, and the other clan decided they got this in the bag, we have actually historically done this, obviously, with my clan. You just coordinate a few extra people with you to do something obscene like this, to get like 100,000 points in the blink of an eye, and last 10 seconds, all out, everybody goes in, and boom, 30,000 points ahead in the last second. Ain't no recovering from that if they were also not counter sniping us. So I would say these skill tomes are probably priority number uno for you to save as your last ditch resort to win the CVC at the last second. It's a great source of points, but tomorrow you're not gonna see me using these points on my first hour. You're gonna see me using these points at the last few minutes of the CVC if we really need it. If we don't really need it, I might just end up saving all of these for later. But if we do indeed need it, God knows I'm gonna be blasting all of these skill tomes nice and quick, so we can snag those juicy personal rewards for my clan. By the way, guys, I will be going live tomorrow, live on stream for the very first time on this channel, so I would really appreciate if you actually check out how we do on the CVC. I will go live as soon as the CVC is live for a couple of hours, so it would be really awesome to actually get to know you guys, get the chat, talk about anything you like, all of that good stuff. So yeah, do let me know if you are actually gonna manage to be with me in the chat tomorrow. I would definitely be very happy to have some people to talk to. And also don't forget to check out my download link if you want to get your hands on a couple of the best epics in the game, including Sun Wukong, which is one of the best PvP legendary champions, all just by using my download link in the description or the comment or from the QR code on screen. Moving down to the next really huge tip you could be using to actually snipe off opponents, and that would be... Sorry, I'm gonna need a little bit of a gear before I show you this next tip. Okay, there we go. Are you guys ready? You can actually save all of your Great Hall crests for, again, a last second split snipe action. This thing is actually an absolute ton of points for you. You can notice right now, I have leveled up my Great Hall nice and big, but I also have quite a few places I can still dish out a bunch of points in, including this one. For 1,000 points, this gives you 5,000 CVC points. We can also go through all of the other ones to see what we're talking about on champion objectives, and scroll down to upgrade affinity bonuses at the Great Hall. Level 10 bonus, 5,000 points. And the cool thing about these crests is they don't expire, they just sit there. I haven't used my crests in maybe a couple of months. And by doing so, right now, I will be again ready to blast some obscene amount of points in relatively quick time. Literally for 1 minute, I will be able to bang out a lot of points. Like you saw, I have plenty of level 7s. So I should be able to get like, how many? 10 level 7s at least? And maybe 1 level 10. So that would be 25,000 points again at the blink of an eye. Like the 7 costs me 800 crests, so technically I can do 9 level 7s, or better yet, I'd probably be better off if I just decide to upgrade a few of these all the way up to 10. And that way I will be getting myself over 25,000 points relatively quickly. And basically for free, just by saving all of these resources. Nobody is chasing you to actually use up these affinity bonuses crests. So this is another great way for you to be stacking without the CVC being active, but still basically preparing for a CVC like this. I'm pretty sad that the area bonuses don't work the same way, because God knows I'm kind of loaded on this area as well. I still need to use quite a few of these on probably Hydra would be my next bet. Get that accuracy up, get that crit damage up, the speed, all of that good stuff. Probably that's going to be my next target, because from what we have heard, they're not going to be bringing these affinity area bonuses to Chimera anytime soon. So until then, maybe I'm just going to load it up like that. But yeah, enough about that. Another huge way for you to get massive points would be through the help of your Forge. Forge is probably the easiest place for you to be getting yourself tons of silver and tons of CVC points. The way you do that is, again, you try to save up your materials for when a CVC is on. And if you actually decide it's time for you to craft a bunch of mythical lethal sets, a bunch of mythical bolster sets, Instinct, Defiant, whatever, this would be the best time for you to be using your rank up charms, your mythical charms, and all of your charms basically. And this way, you're gonna be getting around, if you're using all of these free charms, you should be seeing around 2,000 points per 10. And if you're using these without the charms, it's about 1,000 per 10. These are rough estimates. Tomorrow on the live stream, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. But yes, the Forge is definitely another great place you could be using, either to farm up your initial points in the CVC, or again, you could be using it as a last-ditch effort if all else is already exhausted. You could also be sniping a little bit with the Forge, but it's nowhere near as efficient as the other two snipe sources I told you. But yeah, definitely an amazing place for you to be farming extra silver, as well as a lot of extra CVC points. And you could even be using your level 3 and 4s. Here, obviously, we're not going to be wasting our charms at all. But yeah, these rare mats, they're kind of useless to me in most cases. Honestly, I probably have tons of them for my other sets. Yeah, here we can see resilience. Yeah, I'm not having a ton because I've actually rolled up a lot of 4-5s instead, because I'm a little bit high on the epics. But yes, be smart about what resources you have from where, and decide what you're gonna want to be crafting. For instance, I should be rolling tons of extra perception gear for a little bit of extra gold tomorrow, a little bit of extra silver, a lot of extra points that way. These obviously are not gonna be giving me about 1,000 per 10, but it's still gonna be free real estate basically, and it's gonna be a lot of extra silver. The other great thing you could be doing tomorrow when the CVC starts would be to save up your PvP runs. The most important PvP runs would be the 3v3 arena runs, I'd say, because there you're gonna be getting yourself a very good amount of points. Technically, if you really want to try hard, you can also save up all of your live arena, all of your classic arena, but honestly, saving up live arena during a CVC, it's a little bit too slow for my liking, like spending half an hour spamming live arena for not that much points, honestly, not exactly worth it, whereas the 3v3 arena actually gives a pretty hefty amount of points, I think 400 points? I don't know, we're gonna see how much tomorrow. Not exactly sure, I guess it comes down to how much, what rank you are actually, but still, it is definitely a great way for you to get, again, basically points for free. As long as you do your arenas daily, you should be getting a pretty hefty amount of points that way. And another really massive thing would be to have yourself the Demon Lord nice and dead for you. If you get the biggest chest twice, that's 2,000 points for free. If you get the Nightmare chest, that's 1,800 points. And so on and so forth, so it's definitely pretty amazing to get yourself the clan boss nice and dead for that. Is mine ready to collect? It is, not to mention all of the amazing rewards you're going to be getting. Here's the Transcendent chest. No, I was actually lying to you with that Celestial chest, that's not right. But then again, who the hell knows these names, after all? Let's see what rewards we get out of a Ultra Nightmare today. A little bit of Void Shard action. What else? Just an epic skill tome. Have seen better days. Here we have the ultimate chest, which is also going to give a nice amount of points tomorrow on CVC. Legendary skill tome, love to see that. There's 3 more 1,000 points for me on the CVC. Just an ancient shard, not going to say no to that, I guess. Here's the Grandmaster chesticle, nothing too fancy in here usually, but look at that, Void Shard, let's frickin' go. And lastly we have the Heart chesticle with the Guardian chest, nothing to write home about here for sure. So yeah, it would be a very good idea for you to actually to get the highest chest rewards out of your clan boss for tomorrow's CVC, and that's going to be a good amount of points again. Like you get 2,000 out of the Ultra Nightmare, you get a little bit less out of Nightmare, a lot less out of Brutal, and a hell of a lot less out of Hard, but still definitely worth doing all of those. And at the end of the day, it is really free real estate. Let me see if I'm missing anything super important. Yes, I am. Minotaur objectives are also pretty nice during a CVC. Like, this is the only time you will be able to double dip with Minotaur for some easy extra points. It's not gonna be a lot, but if you're trying to get your hands on some max masteries on some of your favorite champions, this would be the best time to do so. You only get extra benefit of leveling up your masteries in the Minotaur during a CVC, and I'd say the best thing you could be doing is, yeah, you go to Minotaur, you load up level 15, you slap in 4 champions you want to get masteries on, and you literally leave it running through the night. You literally could leave it running through the night with the help of something like RSL Helper. You could actually calculate how much time it's gonna take for the RSL Helper to do its thing, and you could like spend, let's say, 2,000 gems during the night, literally run it through the whole night. That way, for 4 champions, as you guys know, 4 champions, 800 gems per full masteries, that's gonna be 3,200. Whereas if you actually farm them out through the Minotaur, for 4 champions, it's gonna be roughly 2,500 gems. And honestly, that is a lot better way for you to be spending your gems. That's also gonna net you a bunch of extra silver, as well as a bunch of extra levels, because usually what I do is I slap 4 level 1 60s ready for masteries with a single campaign farmer, and by the morning they should all be up to 60 with their masteries, with their everything, and with me being 2,500 gems less rich, but still, it is definitely one of the most worth things to be doing during a CVC again, to be spending some gems like that. Obviously, you could also be spending your gems on, let's say, farming a bunch of spider objectives, or just doing some tournaments and stuff like that. Like, spider objective would be a pretty good choice for you to farm level 20 for a bunch of extra silver that way. Or depending if there's another tournament going on, you could just save up your farming time for when the CVC starts like that. But it's not going to be anything as near as the points I have been showing you up until now. Oh, we even have event dungeon objectives. Didn't know we have a separate ticker for that, but it's literally the same points as the other ones. Like level 20 still gives you 200, level 30 still gives you 4, that kind of stuff. this is also going to be a great time for you to be leveling up artifacts, and more importantly, it's going to be a great time to be glyphing out artifacts, especially level 6 glyphs. Each level 6 glyph is going to be giving you 500 points. If you have been itching to reglyph some of your best champions with the good gems you have right now, this would be the best time to do so. Again, this is something I try not to be doing outside of CVCs, just so I can actually really splash out the points for my guild to have the best chance of actually winning. And there's no better time to be using your glyphs, aside for some random missions, which are super, super annoying, not gonna lie. Like those Marius missions where you gotta max out 40 freaking glyphs. Like, who the hell makes this stuff up? It was disgusting. Really happy I'm out of the water for that one at this point. And also, you could be using a lot of artifact upgrades here. It would be a nice little extra boost of points. 1500 points for a level 16, not that bad. Obviously, it would be much better for you to be upgrading artifacts during a artifact enhancement event, but God knows I will be re-gearing a lot of champions tomorrow, so I will be no stranger to these points tomorrow, I can tell you that much. And another thing that is best done during a CVC, and it's only going to be giving you points during a CVC, would be ascending artifacts. Ascending a single level 6 artifact all the way to level 5 or 6, 700 points. That's a lot. That is a lot, guys. And there's no other time in the game where this thing is actually going to be giving you anything extra. So this would be the perfect time to actually spend all of that hard-earned ascension dust. Like, here we go. I have quite a lot, at least from the small crap. Not that weak on the mid stuff, and still have a hefty sum for quite a few level 5 and 6 ascensions as well. So again, I will be able to glyph out. I will be able to ascend a lot of extra pieces that way. And the best pieces you would want to be ascending would be your boots. Like, you go to your boots, you check all of your primary stat boots with speed on them, and you start ascending all of your boots to try and get lucky with the speed ascension. Getting yourself that extra 12 speed is absolutely huge, especially in PvP. But not only. Speed is king in Raid Shadow Legends, and that's something it took me quite a few months to actually get through my head. I was all about that attack damage, you know? But then again, we all have our sins in the game. That was one of mine. Speed wasn't important to me all that much. Nowadays, I know better. Okay, enough about that. Do we have any other points we need to talk about, really? We have the misc objective, and this is basically using gems. And using gems, contradictory to popular belief? No, using gems doesn't do all that much. You get literally 40 CVC points per energy refill, because it's actually 1-to-1. So another example of a raid not exactly being pay to win, at least on this front. Yeah, it's still something to consider. It's still probably the best time for you to be using a bunch of energy refills, like I said, for tournament dungeons, for potion keeps in this case, for Shogun, for Minotaur, that kind of stuff. I would be more than happy to drop my gem total to around 2,000, honestly, after this CVC if push comes to shove. So it is, again, something to keep in mind. And I guess the last thing I could talk about is the shards. Technically, there's no objectives for shards, but there is objectives for getting yourself your hands on champions. Either through fusing them or through summoning them. But I would definitely not advise you to be spending shards just for the sake of CVC points. Not unless you're a Kraken, not unless you're a whale. No, this would be a last-ditch resort for you. Same can be said for your perfect souls. You're not going to want to crack open souls in the altar for points, even though they definitely do give some massive, massive points. Like, if I actually opened this 6-star Arbice or my 5-star Gizmak during a CVC, that would be absolutely huge, but God knows that's not going to happen way too often now, is it? Let's just, for the sake of clarity, see how much points we would have gotten for that thing. It would have been a buttload now, wouldn't it? Oh my goodness, 60,000 points. Insane. Or 30,000 for the 5-star. Unbelievable. Damn, even 15,000 for a perfect legendary soul, which I actually opened not too long ago on the last tournament, but so much for that. I would personally not be touching any of my souls during a CVC just for the sake of CVC, but if you are during a double event with extra odds, if you are during a tournament or a Deck of Fate kind of deal, I would be more than happy to crack those puppies open. Quick little check on the market to see if we have anything Da Vinci in here. Nothing to write home about. So yeah guys, do let me know if I missed anything important on this complete CVC guide. Also, one last thing before I wrap this one up, I just noticed I forgot to tell you guys this. I didn't even bother to get my lighting up and everything, but really thought you should remember not to forget. Basically, you could also save up all of your rewards you could be claiming whenever for after the CVC starts. For instance, I have this Champion Chase tournament 100 energy here I could be claiming after the CVC starts. I have this tag tournament 100 energy I could be using tomorrow. Again, I'm gonna wait till it actually starts for me to collect those. And I'll also wait with this Sand Devil tournament. God knows I'm gonna be slapping it for the 7300, but farming this before it's actually CVC time, not the most efficient thing to be doing. You still could if you don't have anything to do your daily energy with your quests and such, but do not overshoot it. Definitely save that energy for tomorrow when the CVC starts. Anything else you could do like that? Technically, I am actually thinking about saving these 10 tag team arena runs for tomorrow as well. So right now it's already 2 hours after the CVC would be started tomorrow, so technically I could just click claim on these right now, but I'd rather do it a little bit later in the day so I don't have to be rushed to do it instantly after CVC starts. So yeah, these little tips should also help you out. Technically speaking, you could have also collected your classic arena for tomorrow when after the CVC is live, so you can actually collect those extra bonuses at that point. And you could be using a lot of your inbox stuff for when the CVC starts. I have plenty of energy stored here. I have free handy from a tournament reward as well lined up for the CVC. That kind of stuff is really going to help you trickle down even more points with ease. I hope this helps you really blast through the next one. God knows it's going to be important. CVC with PR, honestly, it's my favorite time to play the game, not gonna lie. And I have surrounded myself with other like-minded people in our clan now, and we are more than happy to contribute 100,000 points this way with ease. So yeah, if you have a clan like mine that's actually ready to go all in during a CVC, it's really rewarding. You already saw how huge those personal rewards are, so you already should know how important it's gonna be for you to do well during those. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, a like and subscribe would be absolutely massive. Thanks for watching, and don't forget you can download the game through my link to get your hands on 2 of the best epics as well as Sun Wukong. Hope to see you on tomorrow's stream, but if I don't, see you on my next video. Bye dudes.